ट्राइपॉड भांगी जैसे अनाई चाहिए आनी दिया टिके
मिसेस मेरी Feierabend जे की होचंती आमर आमसर लेट लेवल डॉक्टर Herman Feierabend granddaughter. डॉक्टर सी मास्टर को बहुत है वो भी सामने बनाए जागरी मंडली बसी है वेलकम सेरेमनी रे आप समस्त को पुणी थे मुक्ति मार्ग चर्च तरफ स्वागत जनावि विशेष कर समय आम प्रभु को धन्यवाद देवा ये वेलकम सेरेमनी रे प्रार्थना करवा जपरी प्रभु आम समस्त को आशीर्वाद करेंगे निश्चित प्रकार आम अत्यंत आनंदित जेहेतु आम सहित सुदूर जर्मनी आसती अमेरिका आसती मिसेस मेरी फेराबेंड जे कि आम फाउंडर रेवरेंड डॉक्टर हरमन फेराबेंड ग्रैंडडॉटर आउ से वेलकम सेरेमनी रे आमे ताको निश्चित प्रकार आम मंडली भाव स्वागत जणाइबा आसंतु आम समस्त प्रथम प्रार्थना करिबा अत्यंत दयालु स्वर्गस्थ परमेश्वर सुंदर समय देत तुम मान धन्यवाद होछु निश्चित प्रकार तुम्हें पवित्र आत्मा द्वारा तुम्हें चालना दैछ विशेष करी हमर ये मुक्तिमान चर्च को तुम्हें दीर्घ 100 वर्ष पर्यंत बचाई रखी आसीछ ए 100 वर्ष रे निश्चित प्रकार आमे आध्यात्मिक दिगरे उन्नति करियछु तत्सहित जागतिक दिगरे मध्ये उन्नति करियछु से तुम्हारी करुणा और दया पे श्रीमान तुम्हारी मान धन्यवाद होछु विशेष करी ए समय तुम आशीर्वाद करो निश्चित प्रकार में अति आनंदित ए समय रे जेतु तुम्हारी दया अनुग्रह ए मंडली पर निश्चित प्रकार रही अछि ए 100 वार्षिक सेंटेनरी सेलिब्रेशन समय रे यद्यपि से सेंटेनरी समय रे फाउंडर जेनरेशन कोई के आसी नथिले तथापि ए वर्षर शेष मास रे 29 तारिख रे तुम निश्चित प्रकार हम प्रार्थना सुनी से जेनरेशन रु मिसेस मेरी फेराबेंड तुम्हें हमर मंडली गणी अछ से तुम्हें पवित्र महान धन्यवाद होछु ए समारोह आरंभ शेष पर्यंत तुम आशीर्वाद करो विशेष करी समस्त को तुम पवित्र आत्मा द्वारा चालना करो जेपरि हमें सही ग्रेट मिशनरी मान को बोली चिंता रखी आगामी दिन मान रे हमर जीवन को हम अतिबाहित करबा ए समस्त प्रार्थना के वरदान करता प्रभु यीशु ख्रीष्ट के नाम रे मांगु छी आमेन। इस समय रे हमें प्रभु गौरव निमंते पुरातन गीत बही 285 पृष्ठा और नूतन गीत बही 214 पृष्ठा कर प्रशंसा ए गीत गाइबा और ए गीतटा एनी लैंग्वेज रे समान ट्यून अछि बोते आ निश्चित प्रकार हम गेस्ट मध्ये रे गीत रे प्रोनाउंस करिवे आ दया करी ए समय रे अनुरोध करी मंडली क्या है
Maharaja
we are grateful to we have Mrs. Mary Feierabend, granddaughter of late Reverend Dr. Herman Feierabend, founder of Mukti March Church KHARIAR in 1923. We are very glad to have Mrs. Mary Feierabend. She has came from America to KHARIAR in this centenary celebration of Mukti March Church KHARIAR. So, from Mukti March Church KHARIAR, we welcome you, ma'am. You please come forward. That we will welcome you. Please come. First of all, we thankful to Lord that He graced us as a Mukti March Church KHARIAR from 1923 to 2023. So first of all, we welcome Mrs. Feierabend in the name of Lord Jesus Christ with flower vase. From Mukti March Church KHARIAR. Then I welcome, please, madam. Then I request Reverend Dr. Ryan Senapati to give the centenary souvenir book. This book represents church history of 100 years, centenary souvenir. Then I request Mr. F.K. Singh, senior most Mukti March Church. He also gives memento of the centenary celebration, 100 year celebration. This represents the memento of 100 year celebration of Mukti March Church KHARIAR. Then I request Bishop Shike Das to give honor to Mrs. Mary Feierabend with a gift of shawl. Then I request इस समय मु अनुरोध करी हमर WFCS तरफ से माने मत फूल तोड़ा दे स्वागत जणाइबे. In the Mukti March Church we have women's fellowship also. They are also welcoming us. Welcome to Mrs. Feierabend. हम इस समय अनुरोध करी WFCS रो लीडर्स मान को से माने पुष्प गुच्छ दे ताको स्वागत जणाइबे.
यार टिक देखो यार देखो.
Then we have a Sunday school in Mukti March Church. 100 years Sunday school. Sunday school leader मान को अनुरोध जणाए से माने पुष्प गुच्छ दे स्वागत जणाइबे. Sunday school. इस समय में मो सी सोसाइटी को अनुरोध जणाए से माने मध्य सी सोसाइटी a youth fellowship. We have a Sea Society and Youth Fellowship in our Muktima Church, KHARIAR. And lastly, Father Fellowship. Only one Father Fellowship in the Diocese of Sambalpur.
Church of North India.
Church of North India. I think Church of North India. Only one Father Fellowship. So I request other fellowship members to welcome Mrs. Herman. This is our Father Fellowship, only Father Fellowship in the Church of North India.
Mamu, here.
धन्यवाद मास्टर. थैंक यू मैम. यद्यपि निश्चित प्रकार आमे अति आनंदित जेहेतु थर्ड जनरेशन ऑफ रेवरेंड फेरामेंट हमर मंडली वाइसरती और इस समय मु मिस्टर सामुएल दाने मानसम को अनुरोध जणाए से दीपद संभाषण कहिबे संक्षेप रे कहिबे जेहेतु समय अति हे जाइछि तथापि आमे निश्चित प्रकार प्रभु को धन्यवाद देवा और इस समय मिस्टर सामुएल दाने मानसम को अनुरोध जणाए से सम्मुख गासी दीपद कहिबे. तापरे परे मिस्टर एसपी के चांद जो अछंती मिस्टर एसपी के चांद
On behalf of Muktima Church KHARIAR, I extend a hearty welcome to Mary Gira, G-I-R-A, I don't know how to pronounce it, and if I mispronounce it, I must be forgiven. But how coincidentally, 4 or 5 days back, I was just trying to know some books pertaining to the missionaries, those who labored in India, and I chanced upon a book styled Among the Original Dwellers, Remembering Ferdinand Hahn, and to my utter surprise, today we have with us the writer of that book. I wish I had that book with me to speak a few words of that book. She has that long legacy of missionary ancestors. See, Dr. Feierabend, he came to KHARIAR in the year 1916, and the mission was started in 1923. My second grandfather, Timothy Dan, he was their cook, H.A. Feierabend and Mary Feierabend's cook. Even I did ask very tricky and questions. Did ever the Feierabends have a kind of quarrel in their family? What kind of culinary taste they had? What kind of clothes they were wearing? All these puerile, silly questions I was asking my grandfather to know something about the Feierabends. I have seen the photograph of a young Feierabend, He was a lanky, tall, with receding hairline, very piercing eyes, prominent nose, well-cut lips, And Mrs. Feierabend, she had that charming, beautiful oval face, well-set, sparkling eyes, and they made a beautiful couple. That is what my grandfather told me, Timothy Dani. These are all oral narratives. And as we celebrate the 100 years of our church, these silly things, anecdotal narratives also go into making our collective identity. See, H.A. Feierabend had a son, Ted Feierabend, Theodore Feierabend. He was internationally known. And the second missionary, Herman Meyer, and his wife, Hulda Klein, they had a very long stint in KHARIAR. And their son, Paul Meyer, he went on to become the president of American Association of Theologians. It's not a mean achievement. And Reverend H.A. Feierabend was contemporary of, I'm forgetting the name, the great theologian. How do you pronounce it? Naibur? Naibur. And I am told that they had a long exchange of letters and correspondence. He was a product of Eden Seminary. And in those days, Samuel Price was the president of that Eden Seminary. Such people, a product of Eden Seminary, contemporary to Naibur, someone who dominated the intellectual horizon of America. H.A. Feierabend was a very good friend to Sadhu Sundar Singh, a very close and intimate friend of Sadhu Sundar Singh. They had that kind of background, and at the same time they had a kind of commitment for the area which had been neglected for centuries together. They came over, they stayed here, they invested their life and time so that we people could have a better tomorrow. William Carey, the first missionary to North India, he came in the year 1793 to Kolkata, Serampur. 1793, way back. Oscar Law, he came to Chhattisgarh, Raipur, that Mungeli and that area in the year 1868. JELC, our neighboring church, the missionaries, they came in the year 1882. In the coastal belt, the Baptist missionaries, they came in the year 1818. But the last, if you read the history of the missionary activities in this country, even Nagaland, the American Baptist missionaries, they went to Nagaland in the year 1839. But the most neglected pocket of this country, the Kalahandi. We talk of Kalahandi system, Kalahandi syndrome, perpetual and incessant drought and famine had created a havoc. To such an area, Dr. H.A. Feierabend preferred to come and work, especially among the people those who had been neglected for centuries together. And how elated I am and all the members of our church that we still share that spiritual umbilical cord with the third generation married. the first generation missionary, Mary Feierabend. We have a lot of mythologies, we have a lot of narratives and oral stories about her. But now we are meeting the third generation missionary, Mary Gizzard, in person. What could be more a moment of a joyous moment than today. Once again, I extend a hearty welcome to Mary, and I wish her a happy new year, and I believe she is going to have wonderful qualitative time with our people and in this part of the country. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर। और इस समय डॉक्टर अजीत सिंह से मैं अनुरोध करता हूँ आए और कुछ बातें इतिहास के बारे में बताएं और तापरे परे जब एसपी के चांद मास राज चलती
में प्यारे भाई और बहनों, आज का दिन हम सबके लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण दिन है जब हमारे बीच में हमारे फाउंडर मिशनरी, उनकी ग्रैंड डॉटर मेरी हमारे बीच में है। जब रेवरेंड हरमन फायरमैन and his wife in I think 52 or 53 left KHARIAR, 57 left KHARIAर, उसके बाद कोई कनेक्शन वैसे नहीं रहा। Although Dr. Feierabend worked in Odisha, and then when he was refused visa, he had to go and learn plastic surgery, so that he could get visa in India, which was the need of the hour. But there was never any, as it is said, no umbilical cord extending onto the family. But 4 years back, I think, Dr. Feierabend and Jane, his wife, visited KHARIAR, but it was a very small visit without much interaction. So this time, when Mary sent a mail to me, so I immediately responded enthusiastically and encouraged her to come and be here for some time. And मैं उनका धन्यवाद करता हूँ कि उन्होंने हमारा निमंत्रण स्वीकार किया और 2 दिन के लिए आए। वो एक्चुअली उनका फर्स्ट जनरेशन तो रांची में है, गॉडसन इवेंजलिकल लूथरन चर्च। उसके बाद सेकंड जनरेशन जिसने चलकुरी लेप्रोसी हॉस्पिटल खोला। थर्ड जनरेशन खरियार एरिया में अपना काम किया। फोर्थ जनरेशन ने किल्डा और पंजाब CMC लुधियाना में काम किया। एंड नाउ Mary has come as I think 5th generation. Yeah. So this is the first time she made contact with us and हम उनको स्वागत किया और वो हमारा निमंत्रण ग्रहण करके यहाँ आए और हम बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं कि वो हमारे बीच में आज हैं और आप सब उनका स्वागत कर रहे हैं बहुत खुशी से और बहुत एंथुसियाज्म से। थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद सर। मिस्टर एसबी के चांद, नाम की मिस्टर बीसी दानी, इस समय अनुरोध जनाए रेवरेंड डॉक्टर एन सेनापति महाशय से मध्य आसी संक्षिप्त कुछ करो।
The
It's a moment of great joy for me and my church. It's so nice. We are so proud of the Feierabend family. It's not only your grandfather, he's everyone's grandfather. My grandfather, everyone's grandfather. And he's a common grandfather from M.M.C. Church. He had a small booklet and they were using for evangelism in Odisha. It's a small booklet. It was called M.M.C. in Odisha. So that name they gave to the church. There was no electricity in those days. The dense forest. Electricity was brought by Dr. Long only after a long time. If you look at the roof, the wooden part of the beams, this was made by the Reverend Herman. The wooden beams, the wooden part, all the wooden part you see, from that wall to this wall, and this middle part, this side, this much church was built by your grandfather. And then we extended from all four sides of the walls. The door he had fitted here is still standing there in the bell tower door. If you go and look at the right, you can take a photograph. That door was prepared by your grandfather. So it is nice, wonderful time. You look like your grandmother. Your face construction. In Odisha we say Chando Mohine. Chando, you know, moon. In Odisha it is very famous here. The Chando Mohine means a face like the moon. No? Your grandmother had a face like the moon, and you little bit resemble that face. And she has a small mouth. Small mouth. I have seen him from my childhood. She was like a queen. She was like a queen. You are no less than her, you are little taller than her. So we are very happy. This really, we are very, we really missed one of you during our centenary celebration. I was very sad how that we could not invite and they could not come. We were really missing you because this is a very important time that you graciously came to us and help us to see you, and it's very nice. I congratulate you, and we appreciate your presence, and it's wonderful. They have suffered a lot. They have lost two of their children here. Their graveyard also is there in the mission compound. Your elder uncle and your, I think one daughter was there. I'm not remembering the name. There are three small children graves there inside the Dr. Singh will show you there. And one of the graves is the nephew of one Oriya evangelist. And two of those graves are from your uncles and auntie. I'm forgetting the girl's name. So they have suffered a lot. There was no hospital, there was no facility, and the whole society and their own helplessness, they forced them to start a hospital here. They built this church, they built the hospital, they built the school, everything they started. Even our women's fellowship, Sunday school, they were the pioneers of everything. The people who greeted you, the foundation was laid by your grandfather and grandmother. So it is great. Thank you very much for remembering us. If you get time, please come again. And if you are married, bring your children. We want to see them. We shall be very happy. And our people will learn a lot of things from you. Lot of things from the missionaries, their families, and their dedication. You know, we have not yet been a missionary church. I have been challenging to my church. Let us be a missionary church. Let us start to evangelize the only areas. That should be our first priority. Now, after 100 years we completed. Now, our duty is to be evangelistic, trying to reach the honest people. So, thank you. Very happy. God bless you.
इस समय मो अनुरोध जनाए डॉक्टर एम प्रमाणिक महाशय को से संपर्क में शुभेच्छा वार्ता देवे बिशप महाशय द्वारा आम स्वागत समारोह किसी शुणा इस समय अनुरोध करी डॉक्टर एम प्रमाणिक महाशय को से सम्मुख आसिए।
It's indeed a proud privilege that we could have Madam Mary Feierabend with us today in this special time of Christmas, a blessed time, and also a very special year for the life of Mukti Marg Church. That is a centenary year. We were only envisioning all the sacrifices and all the love that the former missionaries had for this organization, the church, the hostel, the school and the hospital. But today to be with you, to see you live, it is a different experience that yes, many years ago, your grandfather was here in a much different and difficult situation with no roads, no electricity, in very difficult conditions. But the love of Christ really drew them to this remote area and to start something which has bloomed into this big church today. Which start probably with a handful of believers, and now today in Mukti Marg Church we have more than 600 communicant members and 2000 members of the church. So God's works in very amazing ways which we do not understand, and the love and sacrifice is beyond my remote brain to understand how they could do so much, but I feel it's only God's love which drew them. So we are really very happy. I don't want to take much time, and I want to welcome you again on behalf of Evangelical Hospital Society KHARIAR also, that you could come here and be a part of this grand celebration. Welcome, ma'am.
We have a community hall. We also named that community hall in the memory of Reverend Dr. Herman Feierabend. Later on we will visit that community hall after the lunch, I think. इस समय मो अनुरोध जनाए बिशप सीके दास महाशय को से संक्षेप में शुभेच्छा वार्ता करेंगे और मंडली इतिहास विषय में संक्षेप करेंगे।
Namaste and Swagatam. I asked you whether you know Hindi or not, then you said you know, you can speak in Hindi. I am very happy that we have with us amidst us Mary Feierabend Jr., which was grandmother of the senior Mary Feierabend. He was just business. And while I was sitting, I was just recollecting, I do not remember the date, but I remember that it was in April 1957, at that time I was 13 years in age, that we gave farewell, Vijay Day Feierabend Sahib to Mrs. Feierabend. 65 years later, I was telling him, a lot of things can be said because of time. Because others have already explained their thought and expressed their ideas. I will be very short. We are very happy that we could make a trip. If not, during the time of our celebration of the centenary, had you come that time, we would have been much delighted, and it would have been a very joyous occasion for us. Anyway, before the year ends, you have come. I am definitely delighted. A lot of things can be said, but I will just request you to go through the book. We have recollected many things, even found some of the books, even followed in Harvard Feierabend's book also, Jungle Missionary, and Dr. Sahib. And prior to their writings, there was one Hindi book, which was published in 1935. M.M.C, who was the companion of the missionary, and hardly his career was only 12 years. So we have to adapt to the idea of Dr. Sayward and Herman. So we have translated our views and ideas and impressions in our Indian English form. I do not know how much we learned out of that or not. So we are very happy, very Feierabend Junior, that आप हमें बताइए आप हिंदी कैसे अभी तक याद करते हैं वो बताइएगा आपको चांस करेगा और बहुत खुशी हुई कि आप आए और इतना नहीं है बहुत आए कि खाने के समय में और संडे के समय में बहुत की बात नहीं वाली भी आप पूछे I will not get to talk to see. Before I conclude, I would like to say that whatever the government did for us, we have tried to relay the battle of their ministry, vision, and commitment. And God has blessed every part of our endeavor. And it goes to God and also to your grandparents. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Mrs. Mary Jirat Feierabend to say some response words to our church community. अगर हिंदी भी अगर थोड़ा बहुत बोलेंगे तो चर्च के लिए कम्युनिकेशन ठीक रहेगा. वेलकम.
नमस्ते. जय मसीह. मेरा हिंदी बहुत अच्छा हिंदी है क्योंकि मेरे बचपन में दिल्ली में रहते और वो बारे में मेरा पहले भाषा छत्तीसगढ़ था और लेकिन हम 1961 अमेरिका वापस जाता था और वहाँ हवाई जहाज में मैंने कहा अच्छा तो अभी अमेरिका में है so now I'm only speaking English. So then we didn't come back to Chhattisgarh, so I forgot the Chhattisgarh completely. And then in Punjab, they speak Punjabi, but I was trying to learn Hindi at the time. Can understand. But because I have to think too much when I'm speaking Hindi, I'll speak in English. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So it is such a joy to be here today. Good. So, but the reason it's such a joy is because, so I'm the youngest in the family of Ted Feierabend. Ted Feierabend was the oldest son of Herman and Marie Feierabend. Actually, so actually he was not the first, the oldest. The oldest was Paul. However, Paul died at 2 years old when my father was 1 year old. So at that time, they were thinking Paul was going to be the missionary, but then they turned to my father and said, okay, now you're going to be the missionary. Huh? To my father, Ted.
Everybody is able to follow what ma'am is saying. There's really no need of interpretation. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. So my father always had this view that he would be a missionary. But when he went with his father, Herman Feierabend, to the villages and out into the forest to speak to people, he saw that my grandfather was just giving them some medicine here, aspirin, maybe some medicine for the bad stomach. And he said, this is not medicine. These people deserve better health care. And I'm a doctor and we both go to heaven, then we'll take care of everybody in heaven. So from the beginning, he had that vision. However, for me, I did not grow up with that vision. I was like your typical teenager who does not pay attention to the stories of the family. My older brothers and sisters knew a lot more. Actually, I did not meet Herman Feierabend. I only met him like 2 times in my life. Once when I was very small, and once when I was like about 7. And so I didn't know him, but I knew my grandmother, Marie. I knew her, I talked to her, I would ask her questions, very similar to the questions that would be asked by the Kansama's son. So then I think it was like when I started getting gray hair, I started thinking, but where do I come from? Who am I? Who am I that I'm living in America all this time, but I don't feel American? And so I wanted to go back to India, and I began to research my family and found out that there was the first generation of family that went to Ranchi area, Jharkhand area, worked amongst the Oran. Are there any people here who come from Oran background? No, it's not from this area. However, you did have a pastor named Tirthan. I think in the 50s, huh? Yeah, he was from Ranchi area. So many of the pastors in this area, because there was a seminary in Ranchi as early as 1877. And so they were teaching people to be pastors. So they would send the pastors to these new mission areas where there was no pastor. There's a new church. And so this is how the Oran people came to this area to become pastors and missionaries. And so now I'm doing research about the Oran people, and this is why I'm in India, because I got a scholarship and I'm coming here to study. But I came to Matapara with a friend and a colleague to celebrate Christmas. And I said, since I'm in the area, I should go to all the places that my family has been. And my heart has been very moved to the point where now I am committing to you, the church, and to the hospital, that I will return. I will return, God willing. You know, the older you get, you think you can make it this far, but your body says, I'm so tired, stop moving. So, so this is very exciting time. Oh, beautiful picture. Beautiful picture. This is my grandparents. And that's how I remember them also, even though they were a little older. So I grew up with so many stories about KHARIAR. I grew up with the time that there was a tiger on top of the Jeep, and it was raining outside, and the tail of the tiger was cleaning the window. That's my grandfather's story. So some of the stories, maybe a little not true, not so true, maybe a little exaggerated, but Tika, we need to tell each other our stories. I'm so interested in your stories, but not just your stories, but your ancestors' stories. My parents used to always say that God has children. You're a child of God, God is your father, but God does not have grandchildren. Every generation needs to be revived by the Spirit of God and come to know God in a personal way and become a child of God. But having said that, I'm still now thinking, especially when I think about the tribal people here in India and how they always used to think about their ancestors. Their ancestors were very important to them. So my ancestors have now become important to me, but I'm hoping that your ancestors also, because we do share a common legacy. Yes, my grandfather is your grandfather, but then I think I want to get to know your grandfather, especially the Kansama. I was like so surprised, so pleasant to learn that your grandparents and great-grandparents find out their story also, because they are the people who the foundation was built on. Upon them, my family came and my family went. And the next generation forgets, and the next generation forgets, and then somebody comes along and says, no, we must remember. We must remember our story. So you please ask your family, your elders, to tell you the story of how they came to this church, how they came to KHARIAR area, how they met the missionaries, how they met, how important the hospital has been to this community, and all these stories. And then we should start gathering them, and that will be the story that we can pass on then to the next generation. Because eventually they'll get gray in the hair and they'll say, where do I come from? Who are my people? And they'll ask the same questions. So we need to have something available for them to document this time and this history of ours. So thank you so much. God bless you. I love you, even though I don't know you yet, but I hope to get to know you better. So thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Lastly, we are very thankful and grateful to have Mrs. Mary Girard Feierabend, the third generation of founder of this church. And I also request from the Mukti Marg Church that please tell the next generation the church history and story, that we could relate the next generation with Mukti Marg Church area. এই সময়ে মু অনুরোধ জনাউছি বিশপ মহাশয়ଙ୍କୁ से प्रार्थना करिवे, तापरे प्रभुଙ୍କର प्रार्थना करिवा, तांकर शेष आशीर्वाद करे आजिकर ए समारोह का हमें शेष करबा। ए समय तांको अनुरोध जनाय खाद्य पाई मध्ये से प्रार्थना करिवे। आ प्रार्थना सरला परे आमे धीरे सुस्ते जीवा और डिसिप्लिन सहित से प्रेम भोजी वा फेलोशिप लंच को उपभोग करिवा। धन्यवाद।
ପାଇଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯିବାର ଅଛି। ସଂକ୍ଷେପରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରିବେ ଆପଣ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରୁଛି ଜଣାୟମାନ ହେବେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ପ୍ରିୟ ପ୍ରଭୁ ତୁମେ ଆମର ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକଙ୍କ ଜୀବନରେ ଆଶ୍ଚର୍ଯ୍ୟ କଥା ସାଧନ କରିଅଛ। Lord, wonderful things in our lives. We are really achieved that one of the descendants of the founding missionaries made a trip to KHARIAR and she is with us now. We are very happy to see her and we are also thankful to you that you made all sorts of provisions for her to come to this place safely and soundly. We commit her in your mighty hand. She has come with a purpose to visit Ranchi and do some research work. Be with her, grant her journey mercy, good health and mind so that she will be able to achieve what she has planned to do. Be with her when she travels back to her country. We are thankful that we could see her and we felt as if we are seeing the first missionary, the first founder of this church, the first lady missionary who was instrumental in establishing the hospital, the first missionary who were instrumental in setting up the boarding and school, which has been a channel of blessing for all of us, not only among the Christian community but also persons belonging to this neighboring villages and community. And we are thankful to you for all these things. If we leave this place and go for food, be with us, bless the food, in order that when we eat it, we get strength, energy to be used for you and for the good of others. Make us mindful for the poor and needy one. Create in our heart a sense of kindness and concern for them. All these things we ask for Christ. Amen. Unitedly we say the cross prayer. Herman also does the prayer. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of the Father, the fellowship be with us now and forever. Amen. Thank you.
फोटो नमा मामू ऐसा ठिया उठ जाओ सब लोग आइए एक फोटो ले लेते हैं एटा का लाइव में देखा ना
ये तो 15 तो बाहर देखा
एटा का लाइव बाहर देखा
कवर लगी Praise the Lord. नहीं